Hi there, it's Sandra here from Create in Spain. Today I'm doing a little bit of an experiment to see if you can make a craft stamp out of hot glue. Now, I've got a big glue gun here because it will put out more glue at a time. If I used a small one, it wouldn't be quite so easy to do. I have a silicone mat here which is capable of withstanding some temperatures, and of course nothing's going to stick to it. I have a piece of the backing paper from some vinyl because I need to be able to use something else that won't stick to the glue. And I have a nice, fairly heavy piece of glass. This is 1/2 centimetre thick. Now, let's see if my glue gun is hot enough to do this. So I'm just going to put out a nice big glob of glue. Now you notice that my glue happens to be silver sparkly stuff. Okay, that'll do. Two reasons for that. One, it happens to be what was in there in the first place, so no contest. I'm going to push pretty hard on that to spread it out. And the second is that you can actually see what I've done, because with clear glue it's not always that easy to see it. So I have just squished that as well as I could, and I'm going to allow it to cool down. Oh, isn't that pretty? Okay, so the other thing you can do with this is make lovely little embellishments. That would look great on a card. Well, I'm actually very impressed. It cut through that like a knife through butter. It did 2 passes. I've got the SDX 1200, so it's on the auto blade, and it has cut that flawlessly. So this is interesting. Now, I do know that normal hot glue without the glitter in it stamps actually quite well. So I'm going to put some tack it over and over on the back of this, simply to put it onto my block. Now, I wouldn't normally choose to do this with a silver glue, but you know, it's what I had, and so that's what I used. Perfect. I mean, okay, my stamping technique isn't wonderful, but that's pretty damn good. I'm quite impressed with that. The other thing is that it's just actually quite a pretty embellishment. Now, the glue sticks that I've got in that particular glue gun came from Aldi or Lidl, one or the other, and they are, as you can see, very, very glittery. So they make really, really nice embellishments. You can cut all sorts of shapes out of that and use those. And I think if you chose your script carefully, and particularly if you were going to be doing a larger script of, say, happy birthday or hello or something like that, I think that this would make a very, very good way of making a cheap stamp. And why not, indeed? So if you've got a load of glitter glue that you haven't been using, because let's face it, I'm not sure what I would use glitter glue on normally, this is one way of using it up. Now, the problem that you may encounter is that you've put your glue down, but it's started to set before you're ready. If that is the case, all you need to do is to keep it covered with your backing paper, and then take an iron on a low temperature. I use a little craft iron which doesn't get that hot, and iron it. It will thin out the glue and make it nice and flat. You can flip it over and then turn round and do the other side, but make sure you remember which side was the base, because that seems to make a difference. If you've got the glitter glue, it seems to make a difference as to how well it stamps, whether you stamp from the top or the bottom. But basically, if you were going to cut out a word, then you don't have to reverse it. That's how it works. You stamp it the way that it's actually cut out. And yeah, that seemed to do quite nicely. I was rather pleased with how it came out. And the other thing is, if you wanted to, you could use the template that your cutout has come from. You could use that on a card or a scrapbook page or whatever, and you could actually use it to stencil with a texture paste and get a really good relief on it. So there we go, that's today's little crafty hack. Hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you again soon. Take care.